Window up. There you go. Did it first try this time. All right. Let's get this going. Okay. I see you, Bunny Bun. I see you. I see you, Capybara. Uninformed. I see you. I see you. I see you guys pouring in. What's good, everybody? Give it a little time. You still sick? No, I'm not sick anymore. Yes, yes, son, or child. I don't know who you are, Bunny Bun. Yes, child. You got a sore throat? No, I'm good, guys. I'm good. I'm feeling 100% better. That's whatever I had. It was whooping my tail. I definitely had laryngitis. I know that because like I sounded like a fucking smoker. I sound like I smoked like 50 packs in a day. Like my voice was gone. There was no way I could record back when I was sick. But I'm good now. Let's good slightly. Let's good and different. Good to see you, brother. Like always. What's up? Yes, I see you, Bunny. I see you. Nah, no, everyone's good. No, y'all ain't late. Y'all are good. We're all good. No, everyone's coming in just right on time. Hope everyone's having a good Sunday. I'm sorry I couldn't. I'm sorry, but I'm also not sorry. I'm sorry I couldn't stream last week, but I'm also not sorry because I was just I was with the missus. I was hanging out with my wife. We had a good time. Did you eat? Did you eat? You do you eat you the birthday? Uninformed. You gotta type that out better, brother. I'm sorry. I don't know what you're saying. Emu was trained by Mihawk, by the way, and the new chapter confirms that. Capybara. I love this. Beautiful upscale. That Sabo video was hilarious, brother. I got so much Sabo like shots left in the chamber. Oh my god. Tiberius, my goat, dog. Oh my god, brother, you did not need to do this. Shout out to Tiberius, man. Tiberius he's running his own channel and podcast, and this man has the time to help me with making thumbnails. He cooks a lot of thumbnails for me recently, and so like, love you, dog. Appreciate it. Bro had that Inumaki throat pause. I can't stay, but was good, bro. Like that. That's a crazy pause, bro. That's a crazy pause. I love you, Tiberius. Appreciate it, man. Imu pulled up and straight up tore down multiple agendas at once. He kind of did. We could get into it. He kind of did. I'm very happy with what we're seeing with Imu right now. Usopp, after seeing two of his strongest crew members get bodied, I should have kept my mouth shut. Real shit. Real shit. This is low-key Usopp's fault. He rage baited the devil. Sabo is the brother flame. Leave him alone. I can't do that, Tiberius. I can't do that. I can't do that, brother. I will be on Sabo's neck. Honestly, to the end of the story. Like I just hate that dude so much. Imu a fraud for copying Mihawk. Real talk though. Real talk, Kanashi. Real talk. Low different your boy. Yeah, like Imu has been going crazy, man, and I'm very very happy. Let's go ahead and get into it because I wasn't able to stream with you guys last week, so we're just we're gonna run through the last chapter real quick, or the last week's chapter real quick, so everyone can see the screen just fine. Everyone hears me just fine. So Imu pulls up, immediately starts putting Belt to ass immediately, and I'm sorry. If y'all have been locked in to One Piece, to the agenda piece, to the agenda piece community, you already know what I'm about to say, bro. Zoro, listen, man, listen. Zoro slander is fun only when it's like actually justified, because like Zoro is like one of the most hyped up characters in the story. Without question, you kind of can't. If you like are like a Zoro hater, I'm sorry, I can't take you fully seriously. Like Zoro he's always just gonna be that guy. But when the day comes when he finally gets Belt, oh, the slander memes coming because bro, Zoro calls himself the king of hell, and he ends up using fucking king of hell on Imu the devil. Oh man, them citizen of hell memes have been glorious, man. Oh, they've been glorious. Like let me. Where was it? I'm gonna go to it real quick. Citizen of hell, Zoro, son. Oh no. Like Zoro slander only works when like it's actually justified. If it's not justified, it's just kind of weak. It's kind of weak. It's kind of, yeah, this is the one. This is the one. They have been going crazy on Zoro, man. They have been cooking Zoro for this. And it's funny. It's funny. You can't tell me that ain't funny. That is some good slander right there. It's so rare because Zoro, if you're doing a Zoro slander, you're probably like a diehard Sanji fan, and like you're always just going back and forth. But like it's hard to like actually give this man like some belt, and he got some belt this last week. Oh, he got belted bad. Community has been dragging this man, and honestly, it's been fun. Felt like a Sanji fan for that week, no lie. Like exactly different. Like. Here's the thing: Sanji got his lashings too. All right, he like Zoro is citizen of hell, and they've been calling Sanji Calmer's leg. Okay, like they've been cooking Sanji too. But again, Zoro is like one of the most gassed up characters in the story. So his slander was low key cooking way more than Sanji. Sanji gets slander like every couple of months. Sanji's like, so people find a way to slander Sanji, but Zoro slander, when it hits, it hits. It hits. Oh my lord. Oh my days. Let's see. Going back into it real quick. I do think it's crazy that he kind of just no-diff Zoro. I was expecting Zoro to do a little bit more. Not gonna front. Harujin, poor Harujin, bro. Harujin he's a real ass dude. All he wants to do is help his people. And I feel like Oda has just been letting this man get his ass whooped every time he shows up in the story. I ain't never seen a man just get like every time he shows up, he just has to take an L. The Holy Knights again are absolute garbage. They are absolute garbage. All right, like we're at a point now where you can't even bring them into like genuine conversations without them needing like an actual boost from Imu. That is bad. That is bad. People have been telling me for ages now that like, Holy Knights are going crazy. Holy Knights are going like, they're gonna be like the new top dogs. All this flowery stuff, man. All this flowery stuff. Oh my god. Just to need, you literally need your sugar daddy Imu to come in for you. That is bad. Real bad. I cannot take those guys seriously. Like it's literally just Imu and a bunch of backup dancers. That's what the Holy Knights are. It's bad. Okay. Just move forward. Gabon hypes up Imu, whatever. Sanji gets belt. Okay, listen. Sanji and Zoro getting belt is okay. Because it's Imu. This man is useless. Jinbei is useless, bro. You are supposed to be the third commander, bro. You see Zoro and Sanji put in work, and you just do nothing. You do not. I'm so tired. I'm kind of getting tired of Jinbei. I'm kind of getting tired. I don't care if he's like, oh, he's dangerous, Sanji. No shit, he's dangerous. He just put down Zoro. And you think Sanji's just gonna sit there and just not do anything when like a real dude shows up? Like, come on, man. Sanji gets his lashings, all right? And then Jinbei is like literally a firefighter. anytime Jinbei does something now, it's related to flames. In Wano, it was flames. He was moving boxes. He was doing inventory work in Egghead. You know, he blasted Rob Lucci with like some fucking wind and then left. And then here, all just putting out fires. That's it. Like actually throw a punch, bro. You throw a actual punch. Do something, anything. I'm tired. I'm tired of him. I'm so tired of him. But you know, like I said, we're moving through this last chapter real quickly because now we get Loki. And I ain't gonna hold you, man. The Loki gas is exploding. I ain't never seen Oda gas up a character like this since honestly, like prime Shanks like hype. Like Loki is reaching those levels, bro. He's genuinely reaching those levels. Son. Like, how do I even put this? He's pulling up on the devil. That's kind of tough, guys. That's kind of tough. And he said, hey, man, you ever pull up to Elbaf, you gonna deal with me, clown. He's kind of him. He's like, in the real world, you deal with me and Elbaf. He's like, Loki's kind of him. Loki's kind of him. You could like it really like. Let's get into the next chapter because like I'm about to start glazing. I'm about to start glazing hard. I've been telling people forever, Loki is that guy. And we've been having these debates as to like where his true power lies. I mean, Imu pulled up. He's like, oh, I'm looking for the dude who killed my servant Harold. He's like, yo, nigga, that was me. He's like, Loki's like, nigga, that was me. I'm the one that did it. All right. You made me kill my dad. I'm the one who did it. Big me on my own. And yo, Imu has some audacity, bro. He's like, yo, you made me kill my dad. Imu's like, you know, I'm the one that suffered the most between the two of us. You killed your dad, but like I lost my servant. So therefore, I suffered the most. Like Imu is funny. He's now that he's out of that black like spawn whatever BS he was. I'm starting to feel the hype. I'm starting to feel it because like I like dialogue like this. That is some asshole ass dialogue. He's like, yeah, I'm the one that suffered the most. You know, you may have killed your father, but like, yo, that was like my toy. I lost one of my toys that day. Crazy disrespect. Like, nah, like Loki is getting his gas, but Imu, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot. Capybara, he froze. My man hasn't moved in 2 hours. Put him in the fish tank. I'm serious, man. Jinbei be pissing me off, dog. I'm sorry. I'm just like, I want more from him. Like, if I'm slandering a Straw Hat, it's because I expect more from the Straw Hat. Zoro and Sanji, they did their things. They did their things. I'm not mad at them. I'm just saying the slander was good, but I'm not mad at Zoro and Sanji because it's Imu. All right, but at least they did something. Right? Jinbei just sits on his ass and just like stares in awe every time. Okay, let's see. He did get consequences when Harold died, though. He seemed pretty physically hurt. I mean, okay, yeah, he suffered some consequences, right? He got like a little backlash because of the Loki gas, all right? He felt big Loki's aura. You're right, Capybara. However, how you gonna say, like, I suffered the most when you just made this man kill his own father? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's some evil ass shit to go. And he's not even like joking. That's the thing. Look at his face, guys. He is stone cold serious. He's like, no, I suffered more than you, bro. And you killed your dad. That's crazy. Nah. But, you know, getting back into it, Loki is popping off. This whole attack, this Ragnar Izuchi attack, this is cold. He is summoning lightning. All right? Like obviously he's very Thor, like he's a Thor archetype. So like it makes sense that he's doing this. But like this is cool. I don't think I've ever seen a character do something like this. Like obviously like not counting Enel, but like it's really cool because like Enel had like the literal lightning fruit. Like he had the lightning Logia fruit, right? Loki's just doing this. He's just doing this, bro. Like him and Ragnar. This is crazy. It's crazy. Like, okay, how'd I put this? it's hard to judge Loki's strength because outside of Harold and and Shanks, but like here's the thing, we still don't know exactly how Shanks beat Loki. But you know, all we really have to work with is Harold. And we know Holy Knight Harold was like a genuine threat. Like I don't care what you say, like Holy Knight Harold is still relevant. He's a bootlicker, he's a coon, but he's still relevant, okay? In terms of power. And to see Loki pop off against Imu is impressive. Everything we're seeing now is impressive. You can't tell me no regular person is just doing this. I need to see how I really need to see how Luffy reacts to this. We're gonna get to Luffy in a second, but like this is crazy. It's crazy for Loki to be putting on such a display, and it's crazy for Imu to just be no diffing, just casual about it. It's I need to know more about this fruit power like Imu has, but like this literal devil fruit is cracked. It's so cracked. This omen BS. Nah. Like he's able to like adjust his own size like on the fly. He's able to create his own weapons, all this like he's going crazy with it. How do y'all feel about Emu's design having resemblance to NL? I think it's possible. I think there might be a connection. Maybe. If Enel like was claiming himself to be a god, he was like a baby god, and like Emu is like an actual god. You know, like it's actually like it's there. I'm not gonna deny that there's there. I hate Enel, but I'm not gonna deny that like you know the connection is there. A lot of the new designs sort of have Sonic color vibes. I kind of feel it. I kind of feel that. People still saying Zoro solos Loki. This is the shit I'm talking about. Capybara, anyone who says Zoro is doing anything to Loki right now is talking out of their ass. All right. The ZK first it was Zoro kills Kaido. Right. It was Zoro kills Kaido. ZKK. Now and then it switched to ZKL. Zoro kills Loki. Okay. Zoro at this point in time is not touching Loki. What we're seeing from Loki is, first of all, the fact that Loki is even putting up a fight against Imu while Zoro and Sanji both got fucking no diffed. Stop. All right. Like, you know, not to say that like Loki's still getting his ass beat, but he's not getting one shot. He's clearly not getting one shot. Like, let's keep it a stack. Let's keep it a whole stack. Like, I love Zoro, but no, son. No, he's not touching Loki right now. Like, he's there's levels. There's levels, man. I'm sorry, there's levels. And here's the thing. It wasn't just Zoro fans too. It was not just Zoro fans too. Zoro fans can be loud, but they aren't the only people who do this, because Sanji fans were doing the same thing. I saw it for myself. People were comparing, you know, like it was like the JJK panel where like Luffy went Gear 5. Like what was it? It was you know, the scene where Yuji and Toto and Mahito do the 100%, you know, the 3 split screen. So they had Gear 5 Luffy, they had Loki using Ragnar, and then they had Sanji using Ifrit Jambe. Like I'm sorry guys, like no, Sanji is not doing it, Zoro's not doing it, like Loki's on a different level, all right? I think we can all agree. And here's another thing. We all know that Sanji and Zoro are both, you know, in that higher tier level of commanders, right? No one on Earth can tell me that Loki isn't a top tier. All right. Anyone who's trying to put Loki anywhere other than top tier status in this day and age is insane. They are insane. Like Loki is putting up an actual fight right now against Imu, and it's impressive. He's still losing the fight, but I mean he's not getting no diffed. He's not getting no diffed at all. Like he's taking hit. Look at this. Look at this. All right. First of all, I just want to say the Mihawk parallels are insane. Listen, the Mihawk parallels are insane. This is not a genuine black blade. You know, the blade was forged via the Omen. All right, I'll say that right here and now. As a Mihawk Glazer, I will say that it's not an actual Black Blade. However, if you want to if you want to tell me that the similarities aren't there, like he looks exactly like he did when Mihawk tried to stab Luffy back in Marineford. It's like it's literally the exact same pose. I'm just saying, you know, the parallels are there. You can't tell me the parallels aren't there. I'm not saying that Mihawk is on Imu's level, or I'm not pushing Mihawk over Imu. I'm just saying there's something there. I feel like there's something there. But, anyways, getting back into it. Loki is taking, like, attacks. Multiple attacks from Imu. You can argue Imu's not trying. Still impressive nonetheless. Like, it's still Imu. You know what I mean? Whether it's suppressed or not, it's still Imu. I don't think most people are doing this. Right? And I do like the fact that Imu is, since he's here in person, he's talking about, the corruption, forming covenants and everything. And like, this is all about domination. That's good. That's good. That's very antithetical to like a person like Luffy. And I think thematically having someone who he's a polar opposite to Luffy, but not in the same way as like Blackbeard is. You know what I mean? Like Blackbeard is still like an opposite of Luffy. He's just he's the other side of it. Meanwhile, Imu is like the antithesis. If Luffy's all about freedom and everything, Imu is all about domination. And I love that. I think that's really, really good. Worst Gen and Pew gotta go for that Black Blade hype. Dog, I kind of agree. Specifically Worst Gen. I'm gonna be real. Worst Gen was gassing that shit up hard. Polar, do you think people downplay Sanji's hockey, or is it just not up to par to other YC1 commander tier fighters? I think Sanji's hockey is fine on like a basic level. It's just that he, and I'm not even hating Sanji when I say this, he hasn't had a chance to fully display advanced hockey. Now, I will say, I'm gonna be real, Red Cam. I think Sanji back in Whole Cake Island, when he dodged Katakuri's jelly bean that was supposed to kill him during the wedding, I do think Sanji was tapping into Future Sight. I do think that was a sign that he was tapping into Future Sight. However, I don't think he has consistently been able to show, or at least Oda hasn't been able to consistently show Sanji using like advanced hockey. So I think Sanji's hockey on the basic level is fine. He also has the buffs with his Germa genes, which like also help, but like he hasn't had a really chance to show that. Like Sanji might have actually gotten advanced Conqueror's hockey because like he was able to keep Killing Him's body separated, but we just don't know for certain. You think Usopp is gonna do anything else, man? Adelac, Usopp is knocked the fuck out, bro. I don't know what Usopp's gonna be doing. Kaido can 100% one-shot Zoro and Sanji, be for real. Yeah, like, Kaido can 100% do that, right? Right, Indifferent? Right? He can 100% one-shot Zoro, just like when he did with like 30 broken bones Zoro, right? After taking Ocean Sovereignty. No, nigga, you go get these lashings, bro. Indifferent is my dog. First of all, let me keep it a buck with you. Anyone who sees Indifferent, he's my boy. Okay, but I'm just saying right now, we gon' get on this anti-Kaido agenda, bro. Y'all gotta really accept the fact that Loki is studly. Loki is doing crazy work right now. We are pushing Loki over Kaido, 100%, 100%. And Clark is also my boy. That's right. I argue with you. If Luffy does better against Imu than Loki has in the upcoming chapter, it would confirm that Rocks and Herald have been power cliffed. Here's the thing. All right, we're gonna get into it because I think it's literally the next page too. All right, so let's jump back into the chapter. So Imu is, he's popping off, he's doing his thing, and first of all, before I move to the next page, I just want to say this bar that Imu dropped, it's kind of nice. I kind of fucks with it. This is good dialogue. All right. Like Loki's like, so your power is God's domination. I think you mean a contract with the devil. And then Emu was like, God, devil? What's the difference? Oh, no. See, that is good. That's good villain dialogue. Like, Emu has been hyped up to Kingdom Come. He's literally the devil. He's literally the devil, but he doesn't even see it that way anymore. He's like, I'm just a god. I'm just a god. This is my world. Y'all are just living in it. And I kind of like that. I kind of like that a lot. That's good. That's good. Kaido got baby legs anyways. Exactly, Tiberius. He got baby legs. But no. This is good dialogue for Emu. And I'm so happy Emu have pulled up because I was low-key. I think me, and I think we can all agree. Like, tell me, chat. Tell me how you think. But I think we can all agree everyone was getting a little sick and tired of the black blob. Everyone was getting a little sick and tired of the black blob. I thought that the black blob was going to show up and that's all we were going to get. I didn't think Emu himself was going to pull up in person. And ever since he did, man, a lot of people were saying that Emu was ass. People like, oh, you're not taking him seriously, blah, blah, blah. A lot of people were slandering Emu, but now every mouth is closed. Every mouth is closed. And listen, I'm not gonna fake my opinion. I still personally want Blackbeard to be the final villain. I personally want that. However, I'm not gonna sit here and deny that Emu has been cooking, man. This is exactly what I need. Like, this is a good sample, if you will. All right. So yeah, Loki gets back up, doing his thing, and then this whole flashback bit with Joy Boy. I don't know. I feel a certain way about this. I don't know. I need to. People have been saying that Oda is going the Kishimoto route. First of all, Naruto fans need to calm down, bro. Naruto fans act like they invented every trope, and if any story ever does it, then they're copying Naruto. You gotta just relax. Let's just see what Oda's cooking. Okay, let's just see what Oda is actually cooking. Okay, let's do that first, because this isn't even the first time that something like this has happened, where long friends become enemies and all that. Let's not pretend oh, Kishimoto invented everything. Let's just calm down and let's actually just wait, because that's what happens in the One Piece community. No one waits, right? I'm even a victim of this as well. I sometimes jump the gun too when I should have waited. Let's just see what Oda cooks. Oda is a master of slow burn. A master of slow burn. Let's not act like, oh, just because he this plot line is going on between Emu and Joy Boy. Let's not pretend oh, he's just copying Kishimoto. Stop. I'm not trying to hear that. Kishimoto invented all tropes in fiction. That's how they sound. So they genuinely sound like that. It's so annoying. Yeah, the Hashirama and Madara, but I don't think that's the case. I think we need to just wait and see. We literally just got a little silhouette, right? And I don't know how many times Oda has done this, where he shows a silhouette of something, and then when he expands on it, when he actually gets around to doing it, it becomes way bigger than what we initially expected it to be. Let's just calm down. Boruto fans think that they invented people having kids. Ah, son. Oh, man. Boruto. See, there is a distinction between Naruto fans and Boruto fans, bro. There is a strong distinction. Some Boruto fans are crazy. But getting back to the chapter. Guys, I think I said it in my Sabo video recently. And I think I said it the last time I did a stream. I am so tired of this. See, there are Luffy fans, right? Now, first, again, I want to preface, I love every Straw Hat. But I am not above criticizing them when something stupid is happening or they do something stupid, right? A lot of Luffy fans, for ages, have been oh, it doesn't matter because Luffy can just restart his heart. Oh, like it's we don't have to take his stamina into account because Luffy's gonna beat anyone he fights, before his stamina runs out, and he has yet to do that. He has yet to do that. I think this is the 6th time since Wano, which was just 2 arcs ago. I think this is the 6th time Luffy has needed to scarf his face with food to recharge. All right. At this point, if you compare the heart restart, let me go to it. Let me go to the chapter. Let me go to it real quick, just to really emphasize this right now. I think it was 1045. I'm pretty sure it was 1045. Or maybe it was 46. Yeah, no, I was right. It was 1045. So if you compare the heart restart, right? You compare the heart restart to the food. The heart restart is statistically, like factually, less common than Luffy needing food. If Luffy could listen, let me ask any diehard Luffy fan who believes in the heart restart. If Luffy could consistently do that, why doesn't he? Why does he always rely on food to recharge him? Like it's if he could just simply restart and just boost himself back into gear 5, why doesn't he just do it? It's because he can't. It's because he can't. And I'm honestly, if he does this one more time, I'm gonna be so real with you. If he this is I like I said, I think this is the 6th time he needed a food restart. If he does it one more time, this shit that happened with Kaido is plot. This is plot. This is plot because we have never seen him restart himself again like this. This is plot, and I hate that. I literally don't ever tell me about Luffy likes heart restart bullshit. It's not consistent, not compared to the food. All right, and you know what sucks too? Like I said, they claim that Luffy can just consistently do this, right? And that he's gonna beat anyone he comes up against before his stamina runs out. He has yet to do that. He has yet to do that. All right. He did not beat Kizaru. Listen, we could talk about it again. I've talked about it several times in my videos and on stream. You don't beat someone that you needed to get help from. All right. You don't beat someone you like. He didn't beat Kizaru. We already know this because of the SBS. We already know this because of the Vivre cards. All right. Kizaru was not going all out against Luffy. All right. And Luffy was not going to get up. People always want to bring up. I'm gonna do it one more time. I'm gonna do it one more time because like now that we're seeing the food shit happen with Imu, it's really unexcusable at this point. It really is. All right. Let's go to 1095, I believe. Okay. We already know Kizaru's sandbagging. All right. I'm not saying that Kizaru is going to no diff Luffy in a serious 1v1 fight. I'm not saying that. But we already know he's sandbagging, and Luffy gasses out. And you mean to tell me going into 1103, Luffy is out on his ass. He's still laid out, begging for food, begging someone. He said, "Food, someone give me food, bro. Look at this. This is bad. Someone give me food, please, please. I need food." And he gets the food from the guy he supposedly beat, right? The Kizaru delivers the food, and he's like, it's so idiotic. And then people want to throw it in Kizaru's face. Like, I'm so happy Oda had that Vivre card come out because we go into, I think it's 1109, where the Vivre card stated that Kizaru lost his will to fight after he killed Vegapunk. After he killed Vegapunk, Kizaru lost his will to fight. And it's literally right here. He goes, he kills Vegapunk. Right? Vegapunk is now dead. And the literal next page is Luffy coming in after the food. All right? I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of the food, of the we have to ignore Luffy's stamina. Pizza Kizaru, that shit would have never happened without Kizaru. All right, Luffy fans, I'm sorry. Die-hard Luffy fans, I'm sorry. Luffy's stamina is trash, and until it gets better, I don't see him consistently beating other people. You keep masking it, being like, "Oh well, he's just too strong now. He'll just like," and all these other top tiers, they don't matter. You know, Luffy's just that guy. He's literally going to gas out. It happens too much for you to ignore now. If you want to ignore it, I'm not going to take you seriously. In a genuine discussion, if you want to talk about Luffy and how he is currently in battle, you cannot ignore the food. I'm not saying it's going to stay like this. It shouldn't. And shame on Oda if he continues to do this up until the final battle. Shame on Oda for that. I don't think Luffy's gonna have this issue for long, but it's still present in the climax of Elbaf. We are reaching the climax of Elbaf, and it's still here. I'm not trying to hear nothing about like, oh, we just have to ignore it, or Luffy could just beat anyone he wants. No, he can't. No, he can't. He is literally scarfing his face. Loki is getting his ass whooped against Imu right now. He's bleeding. He's taking hits from this man. You know, he's taking omen like blasts from him. He's getting stabbed. You know, he's just fucking getting throttled by Imu right now. And we have fucking Luffy over here being like, oh, more. I gotta eat more. Never felt this way before. Oh, damn, it's so heavy and harsh. What's with this guy's hockey? Can't win without a full stomach. You can't. That's such a damning quote. I'm sorry. Can't win without a full stomach? What are we on, bro? What do you mean? Like, that's bad. That's so bad. And listen, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Gear 5 is Luffy's awakening. All right? Gear 5 is Luffy's awakening. So, an ability like that should, right? It should cost a lot of stamina to use, all right? However, if you're so crutched, right? Every time you use this ability, you need to stop freaking spamming it every 5 seconds. Like when Loki and Luffy were fighting Imu possessed Gunko, he did like 2 attacks and gassed out. Like, what are we on, man? Let me look at some of the comments right here. At least let Luffy fight Imu before going off on him, Polar. No, I'm sorry, Amar. No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that because, like, it's bad as a top tier, right? I'm not excusing people, like, without, like, a genuine, like, context behind it, right? I'm not going to excuse the performance if there isn't genuine context behind it. Luffy, all right, people have been gassing up Luffy for ages. And Luffy is out here, you know, selling the bag. Loki is putting in all this work to essentially stalling Imu, right? He's doing everything he can to fight Imu. And you're telling me that you can only function as long as you have food available. So what happens when you take away food? That's my main issue with this whole thing. If you remove food from the situation, if you put Luffy in an isolated place and he's got to fight another top tier, at this point in time, I cannot say with an honest heart that Luffy is going to consistently be a top tier without food in the equation. Because if he raisins out and his opponent has the ability to get up, he's cooked. That's just a fact. That's not slander. That's not hate. I don't hate Luffy. I don't hate the strides, but it's just bad. It's just bad. And we just have to accept the fact that this whole narrative of Luffy just being able to simply one-shot his way into a win before he beats his opponent is BS. It's BS, and I don't like it. People always want to bring up Bajrang Gun, as if Bajrang Gun was instant. He needed to charge that attack up, first of all, and Kaido let him do that. Like, Kaido let that happen, by the way. That's a fact. People always want to bring up Bajrang Gun as an argument, as if Luffy's just going to instantaneously, like, blow up his arm, and his opponent is just going to let that shit slide. The only one who did was Kaido. Kaido was like, "Oh, I accept your challenge," and let Luffy charge up all the way to the very end, and then he landed Bajrang Gun on Kaido. I'm not trying to hear that no more. We're done with that. Let me read some comments. I'm starting to believe that Green Bull beats Luffy because of the stamina. Kanashi, as someone with a Luffy profile picture, you're so brave for that. I commend you, Kanashi. First of all, I just want to say I fucking hate Green Bull too, but like it's the stamina is in a top tier conversation, in a battle between top tiers, right? I'm not saying that if Luffy fights someone, if Luffy fights any of the other admirals, any of the other Yonkos, like I'm not saying that he's not gonna get really good hits in on them. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying Luffy's a complete like useless like fighter in Gear 5. I'm not saying that. He's gonna get good hits off. But if he cannot consistently take these guys out, and there's no food for him to recharge, if there's no outside interference, how about that? If there's no outside interference, how is Luffy supposed to beat these guys? You know what I mean? How is he supposed to do that? Again, I don't think Oda is gonna keep this weakness around forever, but it's there, and ignoring it is not going to help the situation. We just have to accept the fact that Luffy's stamina, in comparison to the other top tiers, is terrible. It is. It's not slander. It's not slander. Akainu and Kuzan, they could fight for 10 days. Big Mom and Kaido, 3 days. Whitebeard and Roger, also 3 days. Like, and anyone else in between who you think is like on those guys' level can likely fight for multiple days on end. Hell, even Jinbei and Ace back in their flashback, right? During Ace's flashback, Ace fought Jinbei for 5 days straight. Now, Jinbei and Ace are not top tiers. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that we have consistently other characters fighting for exceedingly longer amounts of time than Gear 5 Luffy. Like at best, without food, if you I'm removing food from the equation, I think Luffy at best is going to last like 30 minutes against the top tier. And I'm not hating Luffy, but I think at this point in the story, I think Luffy at his most wanked, at his most generous interpretation, is lasting like maybe 30 minutes against the top tier, maybe an hour. Maybe. But, like he's not lasting 24 hours. He's not even lasting half a day. You know what I mean? It's not hate. I'm not hating Luffy. But I'm tired. I think some people in the community just have to be honest with themselves and just accept the fact that Luffy's stamina is dog shit. And it is a factor in the fight. You don't remove stamina from a fight from like a UFC or an MMA or like a boxing like fighter. You don't do that. You don't. If someone's fighting, you take stamina into consideration, because if they gas out too early, then they're an easy target. They're an easy lick. That's just a fact. I'm sorry. Stamina is such a strangely inconsistent part of One Piece, though. Most of these characters we see fight on screen for a max of like 1 day in the verse. That's fair, Red Cam. That's fair. But as you said, some of these guys can last a day. Luffy's not lasting a day right now. All right? We can say it's inconsistent, in comparison, but we see these guys going for at least 24 hours. Luffy's not getting half a day in. He's not. It just is what it is at this point. He ain't never getting past Kaido in a 1v1, especially with his stamina. I've been telling people that for a long time now. I think Luffy is going to get stronger. All right, I laid this out in my Kaido video, so I just want to go on record by saying that I'm not switching up, right? However, all right, the fact is that Luffy is going to continue to grow. He's going to continue to grow, and he's eventually going to like we're going to reach levels of power creep soon. Okay, like because you can't tell me Kaido wasn't taking Luffy seriously because Kaido said he was taking Luffy seriously. Okay, like, but this whole thing with Gear 5 specifically, the stamina is horrible. It's horrible. All right, like Kaido said it himself. He was taking Luffy seriously. He had a clear edge over Luffy the entire fight, and Luffy was pushing Kaido. You're not gonna tell me Kaido was not like getting pushed by Luffy. You're just not. And that's not to downplay Kaido. I'm just saying that we're gonna reach a point where like Luffy's going to he's going to be fighting like even harder than he did in Wano. And this fight with like Imu, I mean, like he's literally like getting prepped for it right now. He's getting prepped for it right now. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm just tired of the whole pretending like the stamina issue isn't like in front of us. It's bad. We are closer to 10 times than we are to 1. How about that? I'm like I said, I counted it this weekend because I was going to make a post about it. But I think this is the 6th time we've seen Luffy's stamina issue and him needing food. It's not good. It's not looking good. Okay? And now we got this. We got to go back to Loki gas, all right? Got to go back to Loki gas. You know, not Kaido. Imu distracted. You know, he's reminiscing about Joy Boy. All right? My God, man. Loki's kind of studly. He said, yo, you distracted? Then you don't respect me enough. Oh my God. Guys. He made Imu cough and bleed. Again, I don't think Imu's going all out. I do not think Imu's going all out. But we all agree that Imu is currently undisputed top 1 right now. Undisputed top 1. He made that man cough. He made that man bleed a little bit. We gotta give Loki his gas. Is Big Mom doing that? Tell me, is Big Mom doing this? Tell me, who thinks Big Mom is doing this to Imu? Who thinks Big Mom is doing this to Imu? Let's talk about it. I don't know if Kaido's doing this. I don't know. I need to see how Shanks did it. I'm calling so much cap on that, bro. I need to see how Shanks beat Loki. All right? Shanks fans have been riding the wave of like, oh yeah, Shanks defeated Loki. At this point, I'm calling cap. All right? I'll take my L on this. If Oda shows Shanks like, you know, just taking out, you know, putting belt to ass on Loki, I'll take my L on that. I'll take my L. But I need to see exactly how. they pulled that shit off. Cause this is crazy. This is a crazy amount of gas, bro. I'm just saying. This is a disgusting amount of gas. I see a lot of people try to push Shanks over Imu because Shanks beat Shanks beat Loki, and therefore, and like Imu's getting like kind of pushed back by Loki. Therefore, you know, Shanks over it's stupid. It's some bullshit. You know, it's just Shanks fans being Shanks fans. Mr. God King, red haired wonder, all that bullshit. But yeah, I'm calling cap. I need to see exactly how Shanks did it. Until further notice, I'm calling cap. This is some bullshit. Loki goes into his dragon form, and Imu tanks it, and he's smiling ear to ear. That's, like I said, I don't think Imu is even remotely close to using his full power. This is a horrifying sign. Loki's doing all this, and Imu is like, that's some good shit right there. Like, yo, bro. Yeah, no, son. Also, Loki wasn't changed for 6 years, so he's gotten weaker. Here's the thing, right? I will say this. Negligible if he's stagnated or if he lost power. But one thing is true about Loki is that he's not at top condition right now. Chopper, and Gerd, they healed up some of his wounds, but he still almost died because of Shamrock's stupid ass. He still almost died because of Shamrock being a scumbag. So he's not at top condition. All right? I'm not saying if he was at 100%, then like he's going to like actually like push Imu to high diff. I'm not saying that. But at this current moment, he's not. They healed up Loki just enough for him to go back into the fight. But you can't really honestly say Loki's at 100% right now. From a near death fight, and he like within like 1 hour, because we had the God's Valley flashback happen and everything. We got Loki's backstory, but all that happened maybe in like 30 minutes to an hour, right? And then Loki's here. Like he went from barely getting healed by Chopper and Gerd. Flashback happens, but in real world time and One Piece time, maybe like an hour passed. And he's back into the fight against Imu. So he's canonically not at 100%. So Loki doing all this against Imu is very impressive, given the circumstances. And Shamrock is gonna die. Like Shamrock in an honest 1v1 with Loki is dying. I'm just gonna. I called it. I called it in my literally in my video talking about Shamrock and Loki need to fight. They need to run it back, because I'm gonna be real. That whole bullshit with Shamrock being like, oh, the difference would be the same no matter what. I'm still gonna beat you, son. He just made your boss bleed. What are you? Okay, let me ask you this: is Shamrock doing this? Is Shamrock if Imu lets Shamrock do whatever he wants, he's not going to restrict his powers at all, right? Do you honestly think Shamrock is doing this to Imu? Do you actually think that? Do y'all actually think that? Hell no. Hell no. Loki is frying his ass. As far as I'm concerned, he is frying him. Shamrock is a yapper. Hey, bro, do you think Roger is stronger than Rocks? Yes, I do. I do think Roger's stronger than Rocks, because I made a video on it over a year ago now. I made a video on it where I said that Rocks is kind of overrated in terms of like the big top tiers of the verse, because he was the top dog while he was alive, but it's stated like multiple times everyone got stronger afterwards, right? Like, and here's the thing. Roger was like neck and neck with Rocks. If you want to say Rocks was stronger than Roger while he was alive, I don't really mind that. But I will say if Rocks was 100%, Roger was 99%. They were neck and neck. The Oda goes out of his way to show that. Like these guys are not they're not afraid to box each other. They've clashed with each other on multiple occasions. They're not afraid to scrap, all right? If you want to say that Rocks is stronger than Roger while he was alive, I agree with you. But it's literally stated that everyone who left God's Valley got stronger. And then when we take the Odin flashback into consideration, that's over a decade since God's Valley. Like over 10 years. You know what I mean? You think, do people actually think that Roger is going to stay the same for 10 whole years? And I know people want to bring up the sickness too, but here's the thing, right? You know who wasn't sick? Whitebeard. Whitebeard wasn't sick. He was not sick at all, right? And Whitebeard canonically got stronger. And they had a 3-day fight. If we go by the whatchamacallit, if we go by Strong World, which is Strong World's kind of weird. Everything in the past involving Strong World is technically kind of canon because Oda referenced it in the last SPS when he was talking about Shiki. So technically speaking, the very beginning of Strong World, talking about how he Shiki got captured and how he fought Roger, that's kind of canon. And so if we take that into consideration, right? Not Scopper Gabon, what's his name? The doctor, Krogus, the doctor of the Roger Pirates. He cleared him. He cleared Roger. He said, "Yeah, Roger's good to go. He's in perfect condition to fight." So that's what I mean. It's kind of weird. In my opinion, it's kind of weird to say that Roger is still over Rocks in the other top tiers when over 10 years passed. Like, I don't believe that. I don't think that's so unreasonable to me. Right now, if Rox stayed alive, if Rox never died, a completely different story. Completely different story. If that's an entirely different situation, because obviously he would have gone stronger too. But it's just a simple matter of power creep. Right? He died. You know, Rox reached his point. Like, you know, he's not coming back from that. And everyone else who survived gets stronger. Come on, man. You can't really tell me with a straight face that Rox is still clearing everyone else who survived God's Valley. I don't believe that for a second. Not at all. Rox and Roger never clashed outside of God's Valley. Yes, they did. They did. They literally did. We didn't see it. We didn't see it, but their literal dialogue in Shacky's bar is like, "Yo, you want to go again? You want to go again?" Like they fought each other. All right, they fought each other. Okay, like it's if you want to talk about like on screen, then no, they didn't. But like literally when the God's Valley flashback happened, I mean, like, you know, we also just see we don't see it technically on stream, but we do see the hockey clash between Roger and Rox. You know what I mean? Like and also again, these guys aren't scared to fight each other. They're not scared to fight each other at all. Roger saw Demon Rox and was like, "Bet, let's go, Garp." Like he's like, "All right, let's do it." Like he's not scared. So, Emo versus base Loki, what would you say the diff was? I think Loki's getting kind of low diffed. Just because he made Emu bleed because he got distracted, I don't think that's like really a consistent feat. Like, can we really say that the same would have happened if if Emu wasn't distracted? I don't know about that. I do, you know, we still haven't seen the hybrid form. The hybrid form is still in Loki's back pocket, which may change things. It may change things. It may. But, I mean, right now, like, Loki's kind of getting bullied. He's doing what he can, but you know, I don't really see it going anywhere more than like he's getting low diffed a little. Like he threw, like, Loki threw a nuke, a thunder nuke at Loki Loki threw a thunder nuke at Emu, and Emu took that and smiled. I don't see how any of that is like, oh yeah, man, this is like a high diff fight. No, man. No, Emu's chilling. Emu's not even close to using his full power. Not in my opinion. Does Harold beat Rox? I mean, they were portrayed as pretty much relative. All right. I think that okay. If you want my honest opinion about Harold versus Rox, I think Harold and Rox were pretty blatantly shown to be on equal footing with each other. Like, I know some people don't like that. I think that's what Oda was pretty much portraying. But again, I think it's the same thing with how I feel about Rox and Roger while Rox was alive. If you want to say Rox is 100%, that's fine. But I don't think Harold was too far away. I think it was a 99-98 situation. Like, I don't think Rox is going to steamroll Harold, like, ever. And that's going to be an extreme diff fight, like 10 out of 10 times, in my opinion. Hybrid Loki getting outdone by Gear 5. Thank you, Oda. You're crazy and different. I'm gonna be so real. All right. Listen, I'm waiting till the end of Elbaf before I make that Luffy video, because I don't want to make it too prematurely. But Luffy better do something. Luffy better do something crazy to Emu right here. Because if Emu puts belt on Gear 5 Luffy after all this scarfing of food, I'm about to go hard. I'm about to go hard on Luffy, bro. I'm about to go hard on Luffy. But here's the thing, right? Here's the issue. We all know, as an audience, we all know that there's still more. You know, I mean, there's still more to the story. We all know there's still more to the story. Emu is likely the final villain, right? There is nothing here that shows me that Emu's going to lose in Elbaf. There is no context that supports Emu is going to lose in Elbaf. Maybe maybe with his, like, he might have a personal time limit, you know, with his magic and his devil fruit abilities. Maybe that might happen. But there's nothing that supports anyone is going to like genuinely do something crazy to Imu. Okay, how about this? How about this? Maybe there's a hidden factor that comes with the Nika fruit that makes it like truly effective against Imu, right? Like it's like how Luffy was a hard counter to Enel because he's a rubber man. Maybe there's something like that involved. Possibly. I admit that fully. But at the end of the day, Imu is still likely the final villain. And so all we're getting right now as the audience, we're just getting like a smorgasbord. We're getting like a little sample of what Imu is capable of doing. Luffy can scarf his face all he wants with, you know, months worth of food. But it doesn't change the fact that narratively speaking, there's nothing that supports Imu is like gonna lose this fight. There's nothing that truly supports that. The only hit that Loki got on Imu was because he was distracted. That's not good. That's not good at all. And he ate that attack. He ate it like it was nothing with the omen powers. It's, you know, like I've unironically seen people say that like, oh, Luffy, he just needs to focus on Imu. All right, he just needs to focus on Imu or Blackbeard. He doesn't need to worry about anything else. How is Luffy supposed to like beat Imu, guys? Like, I'm being serious. Does anyone in chat genuinely believe that Luffy is on the level of Imu right now? And again, I'm not being a hater. I'm just saying that it's very evident that Luffy is not on Imu's level. If Imu and Luffy have a serious fight with each other, Luffy is dying. He is going to get murdered. He needs to level up. And that's why I am of the opinion that Luffy still needs to fight people like Blackbeard and Akainu before fighting Imu. People want to like paint this flowery picture that like Luffy can just handle that. There's nothing supporting that. There's nothing supporting that Luffy and Imu are on the same level right now. There's nothing supporting that Luffy can defeat Imu of all characters. Not Kaido, not Big Mom, not Shanks, not Akainu, Mihawk, Kuzan, whatever, Kizaru, whatever, right? Whatever. Whoever you want. Doesn't fucking matter. We're talking about Imu. There's nothing that supports that Luffy would be able to defeat Imu before his stamina runs dry. That's what I mean whenever I say it in like either my post or in like my videos or just talking to you guys right here. That's what I mean when I say that Luffy needs to grind. He needs to level up. It's not a knock towards Luffy, but I mean, there are some Luffy fans that genuinely think, oh, he can just go fight Imu right now. Okay, you're just setting up your boy. You're just setting up Luffy to die. He's not on his level, and that's not diss or slander to Luffy. Imu is basically the strongest in the verse. It's not even basically. He just is. He just is, True Draco. You're 100% right, but it's not basically. He just is. There's no disputing that. There's no one touching Imu right now. Like in a genuine fight, you can put any top tier in the place of Luffy or Loki. Any top tier is getting fried by Imu right now. I'm sorry. They're gonna do Imu like Sukuna and jump him raid style. Possible. I mean, like that would technically support the mural. Technically, like, you know, uninformed, that would technically inform. That would support the mural. Let me go to it real quick. Elbaf mural. Imu is technically not off the table. It's it would make some kind of sense. We got all these races out here pulling up on Imu. I mean, obviously this is like the Gurusei. These bums right here. This is probably like the Gurusei. But I mean, jumping Imu technically wouldn't be inconsistent based off what we're seeing. I don't know how people would genuinely feel though about that. I think most of us would agree that if Imu got jumped, I personally wouldn't like it. How about that? I personally wouldn't like it. I would like to see Luffy overcome Imu like in a 1v1 fight. You know, I would like to see the symbol of freedom versus the symbol of domination fight against each other, and then like freedom wins. I personally would want that. Let's remember that Loki felt the need to use hybrid against Herald. Like, oh yeah, like Loki's not done. He still has the hybrid form. He still has the hybrid form. I just don't think. I don't know. How about that? I don't know how that's going to translate against Imu. Because again, I don't think is even remotely close to using his full power. How would I write Imu Polar? Honestly, I'm cool with how he's being written right now. I like the idea of him being cool with like the or having a heavy emphasis on dominating and corrupting people and like forcing them into contracts. Like he's a devil. I like that. Him talking about what's the difference between a god and a devil, I kind of like that. I think he's really good. I think the writing we're getting with Imu is really good. He muted his ass? Wait, what? He muted? Who's muted? I didn't mute. Listen, I didn't mute anybody. Who's muted right now? I did not. I swear to God, I did not mute anybody. I didn't press any buttons, so I don't know. I'm just been going back and forth with our conversation. Not the mouse going crazy. No, you ain't muted. I'm serious. I did not mute anybody. I'm just yapping right now. I think that Imu's true peak can only be achieved in the Holy Land. They're getting cooked by a nerfed Imu. That's another true Draco. You're right. This is technically a nerf version of Imu, and they're getting belt. So again, it goes back to the Luffy conversation. How is Luffy supposed to magically get stronger? He's not. It's not consistent. It's not consistent. It doesn't make any sense. Luffy he's literally freaking out. He's trying to scarf his body with as much food as possible because he's literally preparing to fight Imu. A nerfed version of Imu. Who is muted? Someone can't hear me? I don't know. If someone's having an issue, it might be internal because I've not muted anybody. And if everyone else can hear me, then that might be an issue on you. Respectfully. Yeah, Imu feeds before Dragon, Mihawk, and the goat Capybara. I should smite you for putting Kong up there, bro. I should smite your ass just for that. We're not gassing Kong on this channel. We will never gas the true desk man of One Piece. Oh my god. Kaido would do better than Luffy in this scenario. I mean, Kaido doesn't have a stamina issue. So yeah, I'm not really mad at that take, Unlimited. I'm not mad at that at all. How will a character as strong as Loki fit the end story? Like, he has to die. Loki could die, maybe. Imu might kill him right here. But I think, with what we see with the mural, right? I mean, like, if we assume that history is going to repeat itself, Loki's not dying. He's just going to get his ass whooped. I think for a character like Loki, I think he's going to join the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. He's not going to become official member of the crew, but he's going to join the Straw Hat Grand Fleet along with the other giants, the giant pirates with Harujin, and he's just going to be chilling. I think that's what's going to happen with Loki. But I don't think it's off the table that he could die. Imu could kill Loki here now. He could, but I just don't think it's gonna happen. I could be wrong. Loki will fight Jormungandr. That's kind of yeah. I mean, that's not true. If the whole thing with like the red line theory and that this is an actual dragon that works for Imu, technically speaking, yeah, Loki would be fighting against this thing, which would be a badass fight. Hopefully, Oda doesn't like chop it up into bits. It keeps cutting back between different fights. Loki should lie on his back and they use him for a boat. Can't happen. He's a Delphi user, Ty, so he's still gonna sink like a fucking stone. We still haven't seen Smoothie. Oh my days, bro! Don't talk to me about Smoothie, brother. Oh no, no. Polar, what percent is Imu at right now in power? I don't think Imu's using more than 10%. I mean, this is obviously it's all speculation here, guys. You know, we can't truly measure him. But first of all, this is still a nerve version of Imu, and he's not trying. He's not trying. He's been ragdolling Loki this whole time. Loki got one hit off just because he got distracted. Besides that, Imu has been countering Loki at everything that Loki has tried to do against Imu. Imu has been handling it with the biggest of ease. He's been countering him. He grew to the same size as Loki, clashed with him, stabbed him. Like, he's been whooping Loki's ass this entire time. Only reason why Loki got a single hit off is because he got distracted. That's it. And again, he goes in for the nuke with Thorheim, and Imu smiles off that. I don't really see Imu using his full power whatsoever. Not at all. Not at all. Smoothie got misogyny bogwag. Yeah, he did. I'm not gonna lie, I should have known better. I was really hoping Imu was gonna be a woman. I should have known better because Oda and writing a strong woman is like, it's low-key like a kryptonite. He does not keep that shit for long. He doesn't keep that shit for long. I don't know. I don't know what his deal is. Mm-mm. They're not ready for Smoothie, bro. Man, let Smoothie have one fight, bro. Don't talk to me about fucking Smoothie. Big Mom Pirates are ass. No. But yeah, I just want to get back into that conversation. Like, who here actually thinks that like Luffy is doing anything to like Imu? Like, I think it's extremely necessary for like Luffy to get stronger. I don't know if a part 2, a second time skip is gonna happen, but this isn't like a traditional like, oh, he's just gonna pull up on Imu and he's just gonna win. No, there's nothing that supports that. In fact, if we go back to Egghead, you know, his whole reaction to Joy Boy's hockey, you know, he's simply not on that level. Clearly, that's the level of hockey Luffy needs to be like an actual threat to Imu. That's seemingly what it takes. And Joy, like, you know, like, Luffy's not Joy Boy. He's simply not Joy Boy. He's not on that level. We're beyond talking about the Yonkos and the Admirals. We're beyond that. Joy Boy, we all agree Joy Boy is in his own league. Or, you know, Joy Boy is at least was relative to Imu at a certain point in time. You know, we already know that the war that they had scarred the planet based off of what Vegapunk said in Egghead during his broadcast. We know that their war was planetary. Their factions were going all over the place, fighting each other. A literal world war, which is crazy given what we know about the world of One Piece. Because the world that we are in right now with One Piece, let me actually go to the chapter just to emphasize it. I think it's 11:12 or 11:13, somewhere around here. But the world that we know in One Piece currently is smaller. It's smaller than what we saw in I'm sorry. the world the world we know the world we are currently in for the timeline of One Piece is smaller than the time with Joy Boy and Emu, because we know that the Earth is sinking. We know the entire world is sinking. That's crazy. Who knows how this is 800 years worth of kingdoms and islands and civilizations all under the sea. All right, the world was massive, and you're telling me that after all that fighting with each other, after all the people who like took sides in this giant war, you're telling me that, you know, like Luffy's just going to like reach this level like instantly, like with the snap of your fingers? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. The scale of the One Piece world in the past, it dwarfs what we know in the current world. We already know that Imu has been wiping out civilizations for literally hundreds of years. We know that the world is getting is sinking. We know that the sea level is rising. We know that you know, places like Wano have closed their borders for a specific reason, likely related to the old world. And you're telling me that Luffy is supposed to just magically reach this point? No. When we're talking about Luffy becoming like the next Joy Boy, becoming the person who brings down Emu, he's on a different level. You can't put any I don't care what side of the fucking aisle you're on. You can't put any Yonko or Admiral in that conversation anymore. We've reached a new point. A new point. Like Emu is a scary freaking person. Scary. The real reason the world is sinking is because Emu wanted to buff the East Blue Sea King that took Shanks' arm. The Sea King took at least 10 hockey knots hidden in Shanks' arm so Emu could have it easy. You know what, Lousy Luigi? Yeah, give it up for Lousy Luigi, bro. Give it up for Lousy Luigi, because I love it. I love that. I love that a lot. I love that a little. That's good agenda. That's good agenda right there. Hockey knots have been funny. Oh no. Let's see. Lodestar being in space would move me, not gonna lie. It just sounds funny to think about. I mean, shoot, man. I mean, if something like that were to happen, you know, I mean, we already know some people we can travel to space because of Enel. We already know that's a thing. So I mean, like, I think it would be cool if one of the final islands you literally had to go into space. Frankie, Frankie upscale. Frankie's about to go crazy with the Sunny. You have to upgrade the fuck out of the Sunny. What do you think of the One Piece being a UFO? I have honestly not heard of that conversation. I haven't heard of what the One Piece being a UFO, but I mean, that would be fun. That would be fun. I wouldn't mind the story becoming more extraterrestrial. I mean, like, we already got gods, devils, you know, we got everything in between. One Piece is such a diverse story with so many different things happening. I wouldn't even be surprised if we actually end up going to space, like, on a serious note. Frankie would just build a staircase to heaven. Correct, Red Cam. Also, amazing JoJo reference. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it for this chapter. We're just gonna have to wait. Thankfully, we're not on break week next week. But yeah, I mean, like, Loki is trying his best, and Luffy is scarfing his face. Emu is undisputed top 1, hands down. There's no denying it. Stop pushing Shanks over Emu. Stop. You know who you are. There are people who know who they are. Like, there are some people who legitimately think that if Shanks goes to war with Emu today, Shanks is walking away the winner. You're like, that one video. You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy. And besides, Shanks is gonna die to Blackbeard. We're calling that shit right now. Blackbeard is. I don't see. Man, here's the fun about being a Blackbeard fan, bro. Here's the true fun about being a Blackbeard fan. I don't have to worry about being nice. I don't have to worry about having like a clean fight. I don't have to worry about none of that. I don't gotta worry about none of that. Isn't it this chapter? No, it's the. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. I don't have to worry about being nice. That man can be underhanded as shit. And if he still kills Shanks, a win's a win. A win's a win, bro. We're talking about one of the most shiesty characters in the story. And you're telling me, oh, none of his stuff matters because he was a shiesty person? Brother, no. And besides, he wasn't even shiesty when he did that to Shanks. He wasn't even shiesty. The first one who'll tell you that he got hit was fucking Shanks, bro. Told that man, yo, I was not careless when he did that. Right there. In bold, and it wasn't because I was careless. People want to underestimate Blackbeard, bro, just because he's a goofy guy. Or he has like a goofy nature, or he's very calculating, so sometimes he runs when he wants to like have like a calculated victory. No, man. That's just a man who knows how to win or lose. Yeah, 1 second. Oh, all right. Oh shit. Sorry guys, I need to check on my wife. Yeah, but everything's okay. Everything's all good. She's all right. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Being a Blackbeard fan is so easy. So easy. It's just a giant layup of just being a ratty person who can just do that. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think Shanks is living to the end of the story. I don't think Shanks is living to the end of the story. In fact, if I were in control, if I were in the driver's seat for the story, I would what I would do personally is right when it's the moment when we as the audience think that Luffy is going to reunite with Shanks, that's when I would start Blackbeard versus Shanks. That's what I would do. Because that would be so juicy. Because, context-wise, we know that, like, if Blackbeard and Shanks go head-to-head with each other, I don't care what any Shanks fan says, Blackbeard's not losing to Shanks. Blackbeard is walking away the winner of that fight. And I think it would just be so juicy to rob Luffy of his chance of reuniting with Shanks. He's fantasized about this, bro. He's been such a giant fanboy of Shanks. He tried to lecture Gabon about Shanks. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? He's such a Shanks fanboy. He tried to lecture one of the men who raised Shanks about Shanks. Luffy has such a deep obsession with this man. Let me tell you that right now. If I were in the cockpit, if I was writing the story, I swear that's what I would do. And I hope Oda does it. Obviously, Oda can do his own thing. I just personally think that would be juicy to rob Luffy of that. It would give even more weight to why Luffy wants to smoke Blackbeard. Because you gotta think about it. He's the reason his brother's dead. He orchestrated Marineford. He's the one that captured Ace. Currently, he has Garp. His crew has Garp. So his grandpa, who he loves, like Luffy still loves his grandpa, is captured by Blackbeard. And then the cherry on top of killing Shanks before Luffy ever gets to reunite and give the hat back. Son. Oh, that's a fight. That's such a beautiful setup for Luffy versus Blackbeard. Oh, there's so much weight behind that. I would kill for that. Shanks gets glazed to ridiculous levels, but I think he's like that. But Shanks fans just ignore a lot of red flags surrounding Shanks and his role in the plot. Yeah, like, listen, I'm not going to tell you Shanks is weak. anyone who says Shanks of all characters is weak is crazy, and they've been reading with the blinders off. Obviously, Shanks is that guy, but you're right, Red Cam. There's a lot of red flags on this man, a lot of death flags on this man. If we're talking specifically about him and Blackbeard, and also, I mean, we're talking about like a shonen story, guys. Like there are very few shonen stories where like the mentor of the main character ends up living, right? Only one I can really think of is Yu Yu Hakusho, but that's because they wished. I mean, yeah, actually, now that I think about it, yeah, they wished him back. They wished Genkai back. Like Goku got Roshi back. Or no, did Roshi ever die? Frick, I can't remember. I know Grandpa Gohan died in Dragon Ball. I can't remember if Roshi ever died. But we have like what, Naruto, Jiraiya's dead. We have Bleach. No, who died for Ichigo? I don't think anyone really died for Ichigo. Actually, now that I think about it. I don't know. There's just in shonen stories a lot of characters end up dying, and you know maybe I can't really remember them like that. But what I'm saying is, it's just not gonna happen. I don't think Shanks is making it to the end of the story. I think Shanks is doing if you want my honest opinion about Shanks, Shanks is doing everything he can. He has a plan in motion. And he's doing everything he can to line everything up to make sure that plan succeeds, whatever that may be, right? He's doing his role in most likely what's going to be bringing down Imu and keeping Blackbeard at bay, because we already know he considers Blackbeard a genuine threat. That's canon. He's not going to pull up to another Yonko and basically beg them to like call off Ace because Blackbeard is just fodder. All right, he's taking Blackbeard the most serious. I think that's the funniest bit about like Shanks fans too. They don't take Blackbeard seriously, but their GOAT takes Blackbeard seriously. So that's another thing. All right, the Shanks fans will downplay Blackbeard. The first person to glaze Blackbeard is Shanks. So let's keep it a stat. But I don't think he's gonna do it. I don't think he's gonna make it. I think whatever plan he's cooking right now it'll lead to some results, but Shanks is gonna die. He's not living at all. His plot significance and character is very well written. I didn't care much for Shanks until the Herald flashback either. Now he's comfortably in my top 10 phase. You know, to each their own. I still hate Shanks and want him to die personally, but I mean, if I'm gonna have a genuine conversation about it, I do think that, you know, I can't deny his significance to the story. I just think that he's just not going to live. Shanks playing his role, but doesn't have a map for Pirate Island. Yeah. I agree. And a lot of Shanks fans get sore by that. They get sore whenever you bring that up. We already know he was, bro. We already know. I'll go to it right now. 1079 when he beats Kid. We already see it clear as day. He's looking for Blackbeard, but he can't find Pirate Island. He just can't do it. He just can't do it. He pulled up to Wano looking for Blackbeard, but he simply cannot find where Pirate Island. You know, see, this is what I'm talking about. Pirates Island. You're telling me you just can't find Pirate Island. You just can't find Hachinosu. I'm not trying to hear that shit, Shanks. I'm not trying to hear that shit at all. Shanks is dumb. Never went after Blackbeard with Marco. Yes. You know, here's the thing with this whole like keeping the balance bullshit that I hear from Shanks fans. I'm gonna keep it real. What's the point in letting a super duper threat like that you take seriously, that you've been warning people about, and then you just don't do anything for 2 years, right? That's what pisses me off about this whole argument with like keeping the balance. What is the point in letting a person like Blackbeard, who you think is extremely dangerous, just go? Like, if you didn't want to fight him at Marineford because you told everyone to back off, I'm cool with that. I'm not mad at that. But you couldn't have gone after him like a week later. You could have nipped it in the butt like a week later. No, man, I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear that right now. I'm gonna be real. Shanks is on some bullshit with that one. Yeah, yeah. But that is kind of it. I did want to ask you guys though, for everyone who's still here, I did want to ask you: do you guys want me to do read-throughs of stories? Because like, I'm down for it. I just want to know if you guys would actually tune in for that. Because I still have I got another Jujutsu Kaisen video loaded up for this week. Thanks to Tiberius. I have another Jujutsu Kaisen video loaded up this week, and then I have a few One Piece ones I need to talk about, and I also want to make an absolute Batman video. I want to talk about Bane because Bane is oh my god, man, Bane changed the game. Bane changed the fucking map of that story. Like, you gotta give him his flowers for that one. But I just wanted to know if I were to upload like read-throughs, like, would you guys want to like see that? Would you, or you would want to hear my thoughts on it? Or we could just keep it delegated to streams. I just would need to be more consistent with my Sundays. That's just kind of hard because of family and all that. You know how it is. You know how it is. Would fuck with you reacting to One Piece chapter drops? I could probably do that. I could probably do it. Have him pull up with Katakuri because pudding is captured. Yeah, I mean, man, Katakuri. I will say this though, Katakuri don't try to come after Blackbeard for no, actually no, because like if Big Mom's out of the picture, then Katakuri would have to be holding it down at Whole Cake Island. I mean, Cracker got packed up, so I mean he kind of has to stay where he is to maintain the territory. Toriko Riku would go crazy. Man, I read Toriko so long ago, but I wouldn't mind doing it again. Yes, please. Sure. What kind of stories? Like Absolute Batman stuff? I was thinking about doing that. I was thinking about doing the Absolute series, the Absolute Universe. I was thinking about doing more shonens. I don't know if you guys heard, but Kagurabachi is most likely getting an anime announcement tomorrow. And Kagurabachi is essentially going to be the new Jujutsu Kaisen. All right. So, I'm going to slowly start, loading up videos for that too. And just keeping the channel fresh. Like I've always told you guys, I'm going to continue talking about One Piece. And we're talking about One Piece till the story ends. Or until something comes out about Oda. But yeah. Streams would be easier, honestly. They probably would. The only issue is, I think Sundays work good for streams because, like, it's right here in the afternoon where we're talking about this. It's just harder for me because I think I have a lot of people scattered throughout the world who tune into this, or like I have a lot of people on the eastern coast of the United States. All right, I'm not gonna dox myself here, but I'm on the West Coast. I'm on the West Coast of California. Oh my god, I can't believe I just said that. Oh, cat's out of the bag. Yeah, I live in California. But I'm on the West Coast. And so it's harder for me to do streams because like by the time I'm getting going, like by the time I'm ready to like actually stream, it's already late in the evening. And so like I actually want people to have the chance to tune in. And, that's why I think now is a good time. Daemons of the Shadow Realm. I'll put it on the list. Daemons of the Shadow Realm. I'm just enjoying the fandom. Well, it's cool. Yeah, is Kagurabachi gas? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's very much. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be the new JJK. Shonen Jump is fiending for new talent, and they already gassing up Kagurabachi in Japan. They have like a countdown for the story. You should probably tap in to Kagurabachi. In fact, I'm probably going to do a Kagurabachi video within the coming weeks just to kind of jump in on it more. But people should probably start reading the story. It's past the 100 chapter mark. Usually for Shonen Jump, when you get to over 100 chapters, you usually get an anime. That's usually how it works. After you cross 100 chapters and you haven't been axed by the company, you're most likely gonna get an anime. Most likely. You should tap in. It's very good. Funny thing, Big Mom is not way above Zoro. That tickle dipped. Honestly, that's what I'm saying. People be gassing up Big Mom, bro. People be gassing up Big Mom like she didn't get packed up by Kid and Law. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear no hypothetical. I'm not trying to hear nothing. It was the playoffs. It was the playoffs for Big Mom, and she choked. She lost. All right. I don't care what nobody says about that. We got big old writing. We got big old confirmation writing, right? That shit didn't say defeat like winner Big Mom. No, no, no. People want to fucking move the goalpost so much. I don't want to hear it. Narrator backs me up, brother. I ain't trying to hear that shit. Nope. Emperor of the Sea, Big Mom versus the New Generation. Battle of the Performance Floor under the Dome. Winner. Eustace, Captain Kidd, and Surgeon of Death, Trafalgar Law. She had her time to shine. I ain't trying to hear none of that shit for Big Mom gas. Nope. Had her chance, choked during the playoffs. Not trying to hear it. Nope. Tokyo Ghoul, maybe? Maybe. I might do Chojin X, because that's also being written by Ishida. If you're not tapped into Chojin X Unlimited Power, I think you would very much like it, because it's written by Ishida, the same author. Tap into Ichi Witch. I love Ichi the Witch. I do. I love Ichi. I love Ichi. I love obviously Kagurabachi. I love Ultimate Exorcist Kyoshi. It's all good. You think Luffy will learn from Imu's Omen powers and get stronger, just like he learned ACOF from Kaido or Blitz from CP9? No, I don't. I don't think so. And the reason why I don't think so is because it's the antithesis of what Luffy stands for. Thematically speaking, it's the antithesis of what Luffy stands for. Maybe Luffy might have his own version of an Omen ability, but I don't think he's going to learn the actual ability Omen. First of all, I think the Omen stuff might still be connected to Imu's fruit specifically. But like I said, I don't think Luffy would ever do something like that, because it's not who he is. You know, this is a power focused on dominating people, right? Like true domination, not just beating somebody up, true domination of their will, their being, everything. Luffy is a man of freedom. I don't think he's going to do that. I don't think he would ever co-sign or try to learn an ability that's rooted in that. Chojin X is fire. Chojin X is fire dude. If you like Tokyo Ghoul, like I said, same guy who made Tokyo Ghoul. That story, gas. Honestly, I like it more than Tokyo Ghoul. Have you read Mad? I have not read Mad. I'll put it on the list. Instead of Omen, like Liberation, maybe. Like I said, maybe Luffy hasn't tapped into the full depths of his fruit, which is not impossible, because I mean he barely got his awakening after 20 years. You know what I mean? Like he's barely got his awakening right now. We still don't know the full lengths of the fruit. You know, a lot of people want to say, oh, he's reached his peak because Luffy said he reached his peak. I don't believe that shit for a second. I think Luffy has finally unlocked like the full, like the true strength of Gear 5, of his awakening of his fruit, but I don't think he's fully mastered it. He's gonna share Gear 5. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I would hate that. I don't need to see the whole nine-tailed cloak bullshit that happened in Naruto. I would hate for him to be sharing Gear 5. I'm gonna be so real. Owen might be the answer to the Black Blade, but who knows? I don't think so. Just based off of Ryuma's statement, how it's it was said like Ryuma forged it through battle. I don't think so. I don't know. But Imu does say it's a power that lurks within all things. So maybe if it's all about domination, that would you know what? It would technically kind of make sense. Maybe not specifically with the demon bit, but I mean, if you're telling me that's how you do it, Like, you know, that's how you get the true Black Blade, is by like through this force, this power of dominating people. Like, that would be kind of neat. I'm not gonna lie. That would be kind of neat. Like, I mean, the parallels are there. I don't care what anyone says. I think this shit was on purpose. Looks the exact same as Mihawk when he tried to stab Luffy. I think the parallels are there. And also like the hilt of the blade and everything, and how everything, it looks very similar to Yoru. It does. It's not true Black Blade based off at least the context of what we know. However, it's, you know, it's not, the parallels are there. We had Bonnie beat Gear 5. I hated that. I didn't hate that as much because people were really making it sound like it was Luffy sharing his chakra cloak, but it's just the nature of Bonnie's powers and how she could tap into alternate universes and timelines, which is a crazy fucking ability. But I'm more satisfied than that rather than just Luffy gave her the ability to use Gear 5. That would have been some bullshit. That would have been some Mickey Mouse shit. I would have been cool with that. I hope he's not going in that direction, but you know, you're not wrong, Clark. It's entirely possible. Boruto Peace, let's go. Stop hurting me, guys. That actually hurts my spirit just hearing Boruto Peace. Oh my god. I hope not. Boruto becomes like Naruto. One Piece becomes the worst of the big three. I hope not. I don't think so, to be honest. At least from my perspective, I think Oda runs a pretty tight ship. I think Oda runs a really tight ship, so I don't think One Piece will be the worst of the big three by the time we end. But it's always a matter of how you stick the landing. All right, because like no one's gonna sit here and tell me that Bleach is a bad story or Naruto is a bad story, but you know I can understand the criticism behind both of the endings of the stories. So it's always a matter of how one sticks the landing. So right now, I mean, like it's the same deal. Like no one's gonna sit here and tell me One Piece isn't a good story, but you know Oda needs to stick the landing. And I think with all the plot threads and everything, and like we still are getting questions, but we have been getting a lot of answers, a lot of questions answered. So I think Oda might be able to do it. I think he might be able to write a good ending, like given all the build up. But you know that's obviously in the future. We're just gonna have to wait and see on that. Got inspired by you guys and started my own channel. Well, that's good, man. That's fantastic, Guys takes. That's fantastic. Hold on. Give you some gas real quick, brother. Hold on. Guys takes. Guys takes. I'm gonna put steaks. It's not popping up for me, brother. But I wish you the best of luck. Write your scripts. Get a mic. Get a proper mic, and take your time with their content and just get used to it. Congratulations on making your own channel, bro. Good job on that. I mean, to be fair, Kurazumi were Born to Burn was very shitty. It just nukes in its lobby. Yeah, no, that was bad. I think what Oda was trying to do with that was bad. The message was horrible on that one. Have heard of Raftel King, have heard of Raftel King, a One Piece YouTuber. I've heard of him. I don't think I've watched any of his videos though. I don't think I have. I've heard his name float around. Yeah, I've heard his name float around, but I don't think I haven't watched any of his videos. I'm not subscribed to him. I try not to beef with any YouTubers, even if they have like a big agenda against me. No, not agenda against me. That's the wrong way of putting it. Even if they disagree with me, there you go. I don't really try to start beef with people. I if I'm going to like interact with someone, usually I want it to be positive. That's why I've enjoyed working with Verdicts and doing collabs on his channel, which we have another one cooking. We have an Invincible collab cooking up. I enjoyed my collab with Clink. I got Clink. I always call him Clink. Clinch. God damn it. It's just the way his fucking channel is spelled. I had a great time with Clinch on his channel with what we did with Law. We're eventually we'll have another collab. You know, I like interacting with like people on a good note. I try not to get into any YouTube drama. I know a lot of people want me to go in on this Shonen Showdown guy, which personally, like everyone who's told me about this, I again, that's another person where I don't read, I don't watch their channel. All right, respectfully, I don't watch their channel, but like a lot of people talk about this dude like he's like the devil, and I'm not getting into random beefs with people. If I'm beefing with someone, they're gonna swing first. That's pretty much it. It's guys takes. Guys takes. This guys takes. Hold on, brother. See what you got, brother. The hot take guy? No, the hot take guy. It's still not popping up for me, big dog. I'm sorry. Two guys take videos. I wish they gave me the option. Wait, hold on. Filter channels. Oh, there you are. There you are. Yamato vs. Kaiku's Bears. Okay. I see you. Stop talking about anime powers. Literally, cost winning was their biggest mistake. Yeah, fuck Aaron, by the way. But yes, you know that's true. Good on you, brother. Good on you. There's another subscriber for you. I wish you the best of luck. It's the Sabo Glaze. I mean, he is technically the Yonko in Cross Guild. Damn, why the hell do they want you to go after Shonen Showdown? I don't know. Anytime someone brings that man up, they be going hard on this man. I'm just like, all right. And again, I don't know him like that. And I don't watch his channel, and I have just no interest for it. Right? I have no interest in it, so I'm just not going to. Yeah. We hate the fraud emperor on this channel. We always do. I'll forever listen, man. I got so many Sabo videos under my belt. It's like Kendrick and Drake. I got 5 more songs to drop on you. No, but like honestly, like I do have another Sabo video that I want to talk about. I feel like, you know, if we're being real, I think Oda is gonna make him look worse at least 1 or 2 more times, and you best believe I'll be there. You best believe I'll be there. I think Sabo's gonna fuck up at least 1 more. I feel like I got 2 more in me. I feel like I got 2 more like things in me. Yeah. No. 100%. Yeah, that's really good on you guys takes. It's really good. Where was it? There it was. I think it's good. It's always a slow start, but hey, man, like, you know, keep it up. Like hey, you master the market of the shorts, my guy. Hey, you can do a lot with that too. You can do a whole hell of a lot that I can't do shorts. I've tried my best with shorts. I would love to do more shorts. I just don't have the time. I'd rather just spend it doing like just bigger videos. But yeah, man, I think this is good. You know, it's always just a good way to start the channel. Like, you know, just popping off. I will say, versus battles are a good way to go. They're a good way to go. Good way to get the algorithm to start picking your shit up. Honestly, like I think it's a smart call to, you know, just do a versus battle every now and then. But yeah, no, like I wish you the best on the grind up, man. We gotta get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. It's brutal. It's brutal on that climb, but you got it. Sabo versus Shamrock could be peak. That's what I'm telling people, Clark. I've been telling people I might make a whole video talking about Sabo's final matchups, right? Because people are so dead set on Sabo fighting Akainu, which I don't even deny it. I just think the matchup's stupid. I don't deny the fact that it's possible for Sabo to fight Kainu. I just think it's so ass in comparison. All right, Sabo is so gung ho about fighting the celestial dragons. He has a smile on his face talking about going to war with the celestial dragons, son. Like, I just, there's, was it the last was it the previous chapter beforehand? No, not that. Not this. Yeah, he's got a smile on his face talking about wanting to declare war against the celestial dragons, and people are like, yeah, let him fight a Kainu. Like, I saw a comment saying like, don't you think it's stupid? Like, don't, so it makes sense for Sabo to have to dismantle the Marines before he gets to go after this the celestial dragons. No, it doesn't. Why do the revolutionaries have to do everything? What, you're telling me the revolutionaries have to dismantle the Marines and fight the celestial dragons? That's not how it's going to work. If it's going to be a giant war, I promise you, the celestial dragons and the revolutionaries are duking it out with each other. All right, you don't see this man like making plans to go bomb Akainu's office. No, they're not doing that. They're going straight to Mary Joa, and they are disrupting them specifically. They already said in the Kuma flashback, you know, like, oh, the Marines and the revolutionaries both want the same thing. They both want to help people. You know, all that. Just obviously, there's terrible Marines. Obviously, there are terrible. We're not going to go into the nuances of the conversation, but you know, the core goal of a Marine is to help the people. The core goal of the revolutionaries is to help the people. They're going about it two different ways. That's their whole dichotomy and everything. But the true enemies of the revolutionaries are the celestial dragons. And people still want him to go fight Akainu. I'm sorry. Again, I'm not saying that Akainu versus Sabo is impossible. I just think it's stupid. And I also think that like Sabo needs to get his weight up, because y'all be talking about Akainu like he is ass. No, man. Like, put Sabo, let Sabo take 2 Quake Fists from pissed off Whitebeard, and then we could talk, bro. Like let's, people talk about Akainu like he is just this baby, like fucking like fodder. Like, I just don't understand it. I think Sabo versus Shamrock. If I make another Sabo video talking about his final matchups, I think I will like talk about that briefly, because I genuinely think that where was it? Where was it? I think it's 11. I think it might have been the previous chapter. It's right here. It's right here for 1162. The Battle Royale. Yeah, like he loses a hold of Shamrock. Like, I think, okay, so maybe it was the previous chapter. 1161. So Dragon loses Shamrock. He's able to save Ace. Not Ace, fuck. He's able to save Shanks, but he loses Shamrock. And to me, the idea of I'll go to the specific chapter, 794. To me, the idea of a revolutionary and a celestial dragon duking out with each other makes sense. Thematically, it makes sense. And I would love it if the second in command of the revolutionaries and the commander of the Holy Knights, technically speaking, he got promoted. Shamrock got promoted. Garling was the commander of the Holy Knights, and then Garling got promoted to the Gorosei, and like now Shamrock is the full-on leader of the Holy Knights, right? And I think it would be really cool, in my opinion, for the child that Dragon couldn't save to fight against the one that he did save. I don't know. I think that's kind of gas. To me, it makes more sense for a revolutionary and a celestial dragon to fight each other, thematically speaking. Again, I'm not denying the fact that it's possible for Sabo to fight Akainu, but like, let's look at this way, right? I've seen people say that Luffy just doesn't care about Akainu anymore, that he's moved on from Akainu. Right? That's not true. That's not true. He's never moved on. Whoever keeps spreading that lie about Akainu, like about Luffy moving on from Akainu, he has not moved on. He literally growls when he hears that man's name. Luffy, bro, look at this, right? Luffy is shocked to hear, right? He's happy-go-lucky. Then he finds out that Akainu and Aokiji fought each other, and he's like, huh? Right? He's all happy-go-lucky. And then as he learns more information, he starts to sweat. And he finds out that these two boxed and that they went a 10-day fight. And Luffy is still sweating. He's locked into this conversation. He's locked in. He's fully invested into what Jinbei is saying. And then he finds the result of the 10-day fight. Akainu's the winner. Luffy is sweating and grabbing his chest. Whoever keeps saying that Luffy moved on from Akainu, you're lying. You're lying. That is a complete lie. There is nowhere in the story that suggests that Luffy at this point in time has moved on from what Akainu did. Whoever said that is a liar, and they just don't understand Luffy. They haven't read the story correctly, or they just have an anti-Admiral, anti-Akainu agenda. Because I've seen a lot of people say, "Oh, Akainu's not worth Luffy's time. Luffy doesn't care about Akainu no more." Where has that ever said? In what chapter is it ever shown that Luffy's just stopped caring about Akainu? Go to chapter 905. 905. Let's see what we got here. 905. 905. Let's see what we got here. What a beautiful world. Yeah. My goat Fujitora. Not giving a fuck about Akainu's words. Yes. I'm very much aware. Yep. Yep. Okay. Reverie is kicking off. My beautiful goat, Fujitora, once again. Yes. And then Sabo goes in and he's sneaking into the revolutionary, into the reverie. I don't really know what you wanted me to see with this one. Koala said it best in that chapter. Koala said it. Let me go. Oh, tell me, Koala, you're fighting the world government for the sake of the fishmen. Do you feel at all conflicted about the Ryugyu kingdom taking part in the reverie? Not at all, Betty. Our true foe isn't actually the world government. It's the celestial dragons who control it. Thank you, Smankle. So thank you, brother. Thank you. That's actually a fantastic point. It goes to show that the revolutionaries have more beef with the celestial dragons than they do the Marines. And also another thing, I can't remember the specific chapter where Sabo said it. Sabo does have a grudge against Akainu. He does. And people want to say because I can't remember where he said it, but he does say he has a grudge against somebody, most likely meaning Akainu, right? Here's the thing though. Why are we pretending like just because Sabo said that's like he's entitled to fighting Akainu? Luffy still has a grudge. He still has a grudge against Akainu. Again, there's no chapter where it's like, okay, he just stopped caring. He's just done. No, we as the audience are moving away from Marine Ford, but for Luffy, it's still 2 years ago. Just because time is flowing differently for us as an audience doesn't change the fact that for Luffy, it's still 2 years ago. I in my opinion, I don't know how people think that Luffy has just stopped caring. What he's throbbing, he's wincing his eye, like he's tweaking his eye a little bit. He's sweating. He grabs his wound, his scar that he got from Kaino, and he growls when he says his name. I'm sorry, brother. Anyone who's genuinely thinks Luffy doesn't care about Akainu is just saying that for agenda. Like I dare anybody who believes that to just look up a chapter where he says he doesn't give a fuck anymore. Show me a chapter where it says that Luffy doesn't care about Akainu anymore. Because right now, right here, that says the complete opposite. Only way I accept Akainu and Sabo fighting is a 1v2 with Luffy versus Akainu. I can see a 1v2 happening. I just don't think I would be I don't think I would be as satisfied. You know, it's just, to me, for one, for the Akainu fans, that's going to be gas because they're going to be like, "Oh, Gear 5 Luffy needed help against Big Bad Akainu." That's an easy layup for Akainu fans. Just let me tell you that right here. Number two is that in my opinion, I just think Luffy deserves it based off of the trauma he experienced. I laid it out in my recent video on Sabo versus Akainu. I think Luffy really deserves the W here. Also, I really don't see how Sabo is going to reach the level of Akainu so quickly. The person who's more equipped, like in an honest fight at this point in time, is Luffy, blatantly. Like, Sabo is in that first commander range. There's nothing that suggests that he's on the tier of the top of, he's an actual top tier. Fujitoro was playing patty cake with him. Sabo called it out. He's like, "Yo, I know you plotting something." Like, and then when Fujitoro lets him go, he's like, "Oh man, I'm so lucky that like he let me go. Lady Luck is on my side." That's what I'm saying, guys. It's in terms of power and in terms of narrative, Luffy has more reason to fight against Akainu. The only thing that Sabo has is that he has Ace's fruit. But just because you have the fruit doesn't mean you're on the level. Ace had his fruit for years. It's been like 3 months for Sabo having the flame fruit. And I'm supposed to like believe that he can just beat Akainu after only having his fruit for like 3 or 4 months, 4 months at best. But Dressrosa wasn't that long ago because the Reverie wasn't that long ago. That's what I mean. That's what gets me frustrated whenever we talk about Sabo versus Akainu. Nothing really makes sense. People just want to see Ace versus Akainu round 2, except you replace Ace with Sabo because like Sabo is literally stepping in for Ace. But there's nothing that suggests that he's on that level. There's nothing that suggests that, I don't know. It's silly. I'm not saying that there are times where like I'm not saying Oda can't make Sabo stronger. I just think that if we're going to take a guy who was struggling to even get a single hit on Fujitora and then just boost him to the point where he can bring down the Fleet Admiral of the Marines, it's so wildly inconsistent. Like, the person who is more equipped at this point in time through genuine progression, genuine increases in his power, is Luffy. Like, Sabo can feel however he wants about Akainu. I just don't think he's going to do it. Like, if Sabo actually does fight Akainu right now, I think Akainu is going to wash him badly, right? I could see Sabo swinging at Akainu. Akainu bullies him, and then Luffy comes in to save Sabo because that would be Luffy's second chance at redemption. That would be his chance of redemption. Not letting the man who killed his brother kill his other one. I can see that happening. I just don't see Sabo defeating Akainu, in my opinion. Obviously, Oda can do whatever the hell he wants later on in the story. I just think based off of all the information we have, I don't see it. Just because Sabo has Ace's fruit isn't enough for me personally. Just because he is the other brother doesn't move me personally. Not in comparison to seeing everything that happened to Luffy. Beginning of time skip wasn't even half a year ago. Exactly. And again, like, the Reverie took place literally after Dressrosa. Right? Literally took place after Dressrosa. All right? The Straw Hats went to Zoe for a bit. They left to go to Whole Cake Island. Whole Cake Island was a few days at most. Then they went to Wano. That was like a week, 2 weeks, 3 maybe. And then they go to Egghead. Like, that's what I mean. Sabo hasn't had his fruit for a very long time. And I'm supposed to believe he has the same level of control that Ace did, who canonically had his fruit for like 3 years. Nah, I'm not feeling it. if Sabo in a kind of fight and God forbid it kind of loses to him, Oda might be one of the worst of all time. I kind of agree. My personal hate of Sabo aside, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. The only way you can justify it for me is if an actual time skip happens. If a genuine time skip happens, then sure. Sure. You can justify Sabo reaching that level. I guess. But if we don't get like an actual time skip, no. No, not at all. Big Business gonna die to Kuzan? I don't know about that. I think I talked about it in another stream. I think Kuzan's gonna play a role in bringing down the Blackbeard pirates, the Titanic commanders versus the iceberg. You know what I mean? I think that's what's gonna happen. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I just don't see Sabo doing anything. I'll probably make a video covering Sabo's final matchups. Like it's, we could talk about it more. I have a few other things lined up at the moment, but I'll eventually go back to slandering Sabo again. It feels good. It always feels good to slander Sabo. I think a lot of people did not realize the bullshit that happened with this. Okay, actually, one last thing, and then we'll stop. Because a lot of people were trying to make so many excuses for Sabo not pulling up to Marineford, which I think is some bullshit. Because people were trying to say, oh well, he only remembered because he saw he was reminded of the teacups and shit like that. That didn't happen. I think it's complete bullshit that Sabo found out Ace was captured only after he died. Marineford was advertised globally. Every corner of the world knew that fight was going down. Oda literally. Let me go do it right now. Chapter 550. I've covered Marineford so many times. I just know where the chapter is at. 550. Marineford starts. Oda goes out of his way to show the South Blue, the East Blue, the North Blue, and the West Blue, and the Grand Line. Everyone knew it was televised. Everyone knew Marineford was going to happen. Right? Everyone knew that shit was gonna go down. Ace was captured like ages ago. Right? Ages ago. Right? Luffy finds out Ace is going to die 6 days before the execution date. He finds out in 6 days. Shakuyaku, tells him, not Shakuyaku, Gloriosa tells him, and right here, where are they gonna execute him? They will do it in the open square, blah 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 blah. And she tells him 6 days from now. It's so bullshit to say that Sabo just did not know only after Ace died. There's no explanation. I read it. There's no explanation that says it. Nothing that says he was like on a deep covert mission. Nothing like that. Nothing that says that he just couldn't, he just was not aware of anything, like, or like all communication was like gone. Nothing says that. There's nothing there. All right? He looks at one picture of Ace, literally focuses in on the picture, and then he finds out, and his memories come back. And that ain't some bullshit to me. Ace was held prisoner for at least 2 weeks before being executed. At least 2 weeks from now, from the actual execution date. I don't believe that shit for a second. Saying that he didn't know, but the rest of the world did. Every other corner of the world knew it, but I'm supposed to believe Ace didn't know. Not Ace, Sabo didn't know. Man, that is baloney. I'm not trying to hear that. You know what? It's so bad when Oda makes a what if of Sabo pulling up to Marineford. That's a canon what if. Let me go to it. Sabo goes to Marineford. Like, that what if is real. Like, Oda actually drew that. No, where is it? Yeah. That shit's real, guys. This is a real what if. All right? Sabo should have been there. But I'm supposed to give him an excuse, and I'm supposed to give him. I'm not supposed to go hard against him because he just didn't know. No, if all it took was just seeing Ace in a one picture was able to jog your memory, he should have been knowing. I'm not trying to hear that shit for a second. Seriously, people need to understand that Akainu will do to Sabo like how 18 did to Vegeta. Yeah, he would. Nothing tells me that Sabo, literally, if Sabo couldn't get a single hit, let me go to the I think it's 771. I think so. No, that's not it. Let me go to it real quick. I got my notes. Fujitora notes, because I covered. I literally reread the story just to double check I'm not like bullshitting. So Fuji Navy Vice Admiral was suspicious. Okay, so it's 760. 760. He doesn't get a single hit on Fujitora, right? He doesn't get a single hit on Fujitora. And then he says he's lucky that Fujitora let him go. All right? But I'm supposed to believe he's beating Akainu right now. When he couldn't get a single hit on Fujitora? Son, no. In Oda's what if Sabo speed blitzed Akainu? Son, we're not doing that, Clinch. We're not doing that. You know what? One day, I'm going to get Clinch to do it. We're going to do this. We're going to do the trial of Sabo. We're going to do it. I'm gonna twist Clinch's arm and we're gonna do it. He's gonna be the defense lawyer. I'm gonna be the prosecution. I promise you we gonna do that one day. Eventually we gonna do it. I'm gonna cash in my collab one day. Clint, I'm gonna collab. I'm getting tongue tied. I'm going to cash in my collab one day, Clinch. Trust me, brother. Trust me. Damn, Polar got an Isho agenda. Damn right I do. Are you kidding me? I made a Fujitora is the greatest marine in One Piece video. You think I don't have the Fujitora files? All right? I know this shit off fact, not opinion, bro. Bro, let me go do it right now. I made a Fujitora versus Holy Knights video. Okay? I yapped about him for 13 minutes straight. Talking about Fujitora is the best marine in One Piece. I have the Fujitora files, bro. I've read every chapter Fujitora was in. Like, I love when I tell you he's my GOAT. I'm not lying. Fujitora is my fucking GOAT, dog. I know him. That's my guy, son. Why would Oda go, literally the next chapter, by the way, after Sabo gets let free, right, by Fujitora, literally the next chapter, the Marines find out that Fujitora and Sabo fought, and it ended in a supposed draw. Immediately, the Vice Admiral was like, "Oh, that's some bullshit." He's like, that did not happen." All right, we literally calls out Fujitora has an anti world government agenda. All right. And he's like, that's some bullshit. There's no way. The literal next chapter, like, I don't know how people can actually read Fujitora versus Sabo and think that Fujitora was actually going all out or anything like that. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. I gotta step up my game and get serious. It does get serious in these streets, bro. If you ain't tracking your GOAT's activities, are you really a fan? Real talk. If you're not tracking your GOAT's experiences, are you really a fan? Real talk. I'm just saying, man. My Fujitora agenda is real. I think I can't, honestly, guys, I think I can't go one stream without talking about Fujitora. I think almost every stream I've done, I can't go one stream without talking about Fujitora. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. I'm sorry. People want to always talk about how the Marines always be doing bullshit and that no one does any accountability for them. He's literally the GOAT. I don't know, man. I don't know. I made a Google Docu, bro. I needed to. Like when I make my videos, guys, I make notes all the time. It's not just off the fly or I'm just writing a bullshit script. I make notes all the time. When I made my Yusuke, like I got notes on Yu Yu Hakusho. I got notes on I made Sukuna note, brother. I have a lot of notes. All right, I'm always drafting. I'm always trying to figure out something. Like there are times when I could just think of something off the fly, but like I think it's just more streamlined that way. Like if I'm saying something happened in my video, I best believe I went there and read it. I'm not. Some people will say, "Oh, I'm taking things out of context." Bullshit. I reread the story. All right. Now, I'm not saying I'm infallible. Maybe I end up saying something incorrectly. And I'm not above that. But I go back and I read. Fujitora pilled. That the best pill to be on. Who is yelling at Akainu like this, bro? Besides Kuzan. No, I'm sorry. Nah. Fuji is my guy. He's just him. I'm telling you right now. I was geeking during the reverie, bro. I was geeking because you ain't gonna sit here and tell me that this nigga who can casually summon 3 meteors from space. You can't tell me he wasn't doing that shit on purpose, bro. You can't tell me he wasn't gonna nuke the Holy Land. I'm sorry, there is no shot. What's my computer doing? If Green Bull wasn't there, bro, if he would have gotten an easy lick. Listen. How can you say this is a coincidence? I'm gonna go back to my notes just to specifically find the chapter. The Fujitora files. Sandbagging. No. It's somewhere during the chaos of the reverie. Sure gets knocked out. Any more corruption? Fujitora learns all this. Yeah, like states the Navy can't be the hero. Purposely let Sabo go past. I wrote it down. So we'll call out Fuji for sandbagging. Finally, despise how the world government thinks itself. Yeah, there it is. 747. You can't look me in my eyes, bro. You can't look me with a straight face and be like, yeah, man, Fujitora did that shit just off willy-nilly. Why not, Isho? Doflamingo can't be a warlord anymore. Now is the time to arrest him. And it's happened time and again. Ain't you been in the Navy a long time, Vice Admiral? Are you telling me these cries of anger have fallen on deaf ears? Those ain't tears of sorrow. That's pure rage. Does the world government think itself to be God? My decision will stand, and that's final. He's my goat. No, man. So you can't tell me what the guy who makes a statement like this, and then he's literally in the Holy Land. He's like, Fujitora, what are you doing? I'm dropping a meteor. He pauses. I'm dropping ... a meteor, son. And then in broad daylight, goes out of his way to fight Green Bull and defy the Celestial Dragon, son. What are we talking about? What is it? 1085? 1085, right? He's goated. Like, what more? Who does that? Broad daylight. Yeah, I can't go one stream. I can't. It's like a ticking time bomb, bro. That's just my itch. I'm waiting, bro. I'm waiting for Oda to actually let Fujitora fight someone he wants to beat the fuck out of. When that day comes, best believe I'll be there. Best believe that video is dropping, man. Cause I've been here. Man, so many people be downplaying my GOAT, bro. As if he's ever used even an ounce of his full strength on screen. He's never has. He never has. And that's not a diss to Green Bull either. Right? But he was clearly protecting slaves when he fought Green Bull. All right? He is playing defense here while having to protect who knows how many slaves behind him. Stop it. You can't call that an honest fight. You can't call that an honest fight. Imagine Luffy having to fight Kaido and he had to protect a bunch of people behind him at the same time. Stop it. Stop it. You can't call that a fair fight. You can't. I'm just saying. Again, it's not a diss towards Green Bull. Green Bull's still a top tier. He's still an admiral. I'm just saying some people want to put Green Bull over Fujitora by citing this, and I think it's not. I don't think it's fair. My bias towards Fujitora aside, I think if you were to do this with any top tier, and they had to protect a group of people, a group of people, and also another thing, we're not talking about just any guy either. We're talking about Green Bull, all right? Green Bull's fruit for clearing out a bunch of people is disgusting. It's a powerful ability, bro. We see what he did. We see what he did to King and Queen and the remnants of Kaido's of the Beast Pirates. He pulled up and took out all of them. Look at this. You telling me Fujitora had to fight a guy while protecting a bunch of slaves? Like, this is what he can do to the battlefield. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't really think that's fair. I don't think you can call that a fair fight. If Fujitora protected all those slaves against a guy who can do something like this. No. In my opinion, no. Like, again, it's not like, and again, I'm not downplaying Green Bull specifically because I don't like Green Bull. Full stop. I do not like Green Bull, but I'll give him his flowers. I think him damaging Fujitora is a good thing. I don't think it's an anti-feat towards Fujitora or towards Green Bull. I just think that it's not a fair fight. I don't think it's a fair fight. I think that situation was not a true 1v1 with each other. I think if you want to say that Fujitora is weaker than Green Bull because of like that circumstance and just don't take that into consideration, I'm not going to take you seriously. And that's not even just agenda. Like, that's not my personal agenda. That's just like, you can replace any other top tier with Green Bull. I went with Fujitora, and I would be advocating the same way. I don't think it's necessarily fair to do that. Just asking again, do we think top tiers need ACOG to be a top tier? No, we don't. We don't. I don't know if Big Brother helps. I don't know if you were here earlier in the stream, but I had a full conversation about Luffy and Kizaru and, just a bunch of other things. Luffy, you don't need Advanced Conquerors Hockey to be considered a top tier. Obviously, it helps. No one's going to we're not downplaying Advanced Conquerors Hockey here, but no, you do not. No, you do not. You do not need Advanced Conquerors Hockey to be a top tier. Like, it's not like, it doesn't automatically make you a top tier. Like, Yamato has Advanced Conquerors Hockey. We're not putting Yamato in top tier discussions, right? It obviously helps you to have Advanced Conquerors Hockey. It's incredible to have Advanced Conquerors Hockey, but we are not about to sit here and be like, oh, you're automatically a top tier just because you have it. No, that's not what we're doing. Fuji with them. All right, but I think that's about a good place to stop the stream. Like I said, I'm throwing the idea out there to maybe upload some like read-throughs of stories. Maybe I'll make like a poll later, like asking people like if they want me like read through Kagurabachi again or Ichi or whatever. Like, I don't mind doing that, but I need to figure out my own schedule to be consistent with it because I still have to do editing. I need to edit this week's video as well. Yeah, but thank you everybody for showing up. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, consider subscribing. And like, yeah, honestly, everyone just have a good day. I really do appreciate everyone who stayed to the end. I you know, I enjoy streaming because it's just a cool way to talk to you guys. Like, it's so much can be lost in translation with just commenting in like a poll or under like a comment section of a video. So like, I genuinely am happy to just sit here and just talk with you guys, and we're just all gushing about, you know, the story that we want to read. So yeah, everyone please be safe and have a good day. All right.